Now available in paperback and e-readers. John Haynes, 1987. Learn lessons about life and teenage love in the 1980s in this coming-of-age John Haynes story. Get your copy of John Haynes, 1987 in paperback and e-readers at Amazon.com and online booksellers everywhere. Recently, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Owens expressed his preference for white women over black women.
My experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. When I started dating white girls, my first experience with white girls is when I went to college. I tried to date some black girls when I was in college. They did not like me. I was skinny. I was strong.
Right.
I was teased from high school, even to college. I got teased for being dark skinned.
Damn,
So
they tease you, cuz?
yeah. So there was a lot of self-esteem issues.
Right.
No, I'm being dead honest. So when I got my opportunity, when my first experience with a white girl, I'm like, okay, it wasn't bad, but that wasn't. I just totally gravitated to white girls after that.
Right.
That wasn't the situation. So again, my experiences with black women growing up wasn't so good. So, but that still didn't deter me from still dating or pursuing black girls.
Right.
So my thing now is because I know there's the stigma. The stereotypical of athletes, to go off and make money, this and that, and date the opposite color, opposite race. But for me now, where I am, it's not even about color. It's not even about race. For me, it's about somebody that I have some chemistry with, good energy, and I get a good vibe with. Right. That's where I am. Like I said, we all want somebody that's attractive.
Right.
You know what I mean? Aesthetics going to play a big part in it. Anybody that says, "Oh, well, I don't care what the person looks like," that's a lie. That's a lie. We all want somebody that we can roll over and wake up to. That's, you know what I mean, that looks pleasing to the eye. Everybody's experiences have been different. For me, when I grew up, I was in my high school pretty much is 50. I don't know what percentage black, white, but I lived in a black neighborhood. So at the end of the day, I attempted to date black girls. When I was younger, I wasn't as handsome as I am now. I didn't have this beautiful smile as I have now.
Hit puberty.
Right. I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
And when I bloomed, boy, did I bloom.
Now, in an interview that Terrell Owens gave on Instagram Live to former NFL player Chad Ochocinco, Terrell Owens expressed his preference for dating white women over black women. And as Terrell Owens talked about why he prefers to date white women over black women, he talked about all of his negative experiences that he had with black girls and black women in high school and college. And as Terrell Owens talked about these negative experiences and being rejected by black women for allegedly being dark-skinned and skinny, he talked about how he had positive experiences with white women, and that's the reason why he prefers to date white women over black women. Now, what happened to Terrell Owens is what happens to many spellbound black males. What happens is many of these black males, because they want to go out here and fit into the black box that's acceptable to white people, what they do is go out here and try and choose white women over black women regarding what they believe to be negative experiences they have with black women, not seeing how the entire system of white supremacy is looking to go out here and divide the black man and the black woman. Now, when it comes to the system of white supremacy, the system of white supremacy does not want to see black men and black women seeing each other as attractive, because if a black man sees a black woman as attractive, this leads to the formation of black marriages and leads to the formation of black families. And white supremacy does not want black men and black women to see each other as attractive or desirable, and many young black girls wind up buying into this culture at an early age. And because they buy into this culture at an early age, because black girls are social, what they do is go out here and see black men as unattractive because they are bombarded with images of white women. And because they're bombarded with images of white women, they don't see black men as attractive because they aspire to be like a white woman. And because they aspire to be like a white woman, many black women will go out here and reject a black man because they have been spellbound to believe that a white man is more attractive in some cases, and in other cases, they have also had all sorts of negative messages presented to them about black men in media, demonizing the black man. And this type of media is something every little girl watches when she watches things like the TV news or watches entertainment where they constantly show her white males and non-black males as more attractive than black men. But sadly, many black boys don't have a father or a mother to teach them all about the media like my mother did, or have somebody who can teach them how to study the entertainment industry like I did, to show them how these images and messages can warp the whole perception of black boys and black girls. And sadly, what happened in the case of Terrell Owens is that he wound up taking a lot of the rejection he received from those black girls very personally, and he internalized a lot of those rejections, believing that these black girls were basically out here rejecting him because he was dark-skinned, when in actuality many of these girls were basically going out here subconsciously following many of the messages that white supremacy puts in our media. White supremacy oftentimes puts images and messages in the media to go out here and demonize black men, and this is what makes many young black girls see a black man as unattractive, and makes it where many of these black girls will go out here and reject a black man on a visceral level. Moreover, whenever many of these black girls go out here, they go out here and when they reject a black man, they go out here and do it in such a cruel way that they wind up emasculating and embarrassing a black man. And from Terrell Owens' age, which is 48 years old, he's a Gen Xer like me, and as a Gen Xer, he basically got that hostile response. And sadly, as he was getting these hostile responses from black girls, what happened was he internalized that trauma, and that trauma basically stayed with him all throughout his life. Now, I myself have experienced that same kind of rejection from black girls when I was a tween, when I was 12 and 13 years old, and also when I was a teenager at 14, 15, and 16 years old. So I know the type of cruelty that these teenage black Gen X girls would give to a black man who was out here trying to go out here and shoot his shot. I know how some of these women would go out, and girls would go out here and make fun of a guy, make fun of his clothes, make fun of his skin tone, make fun of the way he talked. And I'm a light-skinned black man, and I received that same type of hostility. However, even though I got that kind of hostility from a lot of black girls and black women in my teens and my 20s, I understood that I shouldn't take it personal, and I let it roll off me. And the reason why I let it roll off me is due to the way that my mother raised me to be able to accept when a girl says no. My mother basically raised me in a way where I had to not take this stuff personally. And I've heard, again, many of these black girls say all sorts of things. I've had girls talk about how I look retarded. I've had girls mock the way I speak. But instead of me internalizing that disrespect, I just took it as that was how she was, and that just basically showed me this was not the right girl for me, and I charged her to the game. Unfortunately, with Terrell Owens, he took a lot of what these black girls said very personally, and as he took it very personally, he just fell right into what white supremacy wanted him to do, and that is go out here and choose a white woman over a black woman, not understanding what white supremacy was doing was making the white female appear to be more attractive than the black woman in their media by showing her as being polite and friendly, and then going out here and showing the black woman, in contrast, appearing to be rude and hostile as an emasculating sapphire. That is what they do in their media, and because this is the media that is modeled for most black girls, what they do is believe that this is the normal behavior for black girls, and they go out here and participate in that behavior and they go out here and again act on that from the media, and they also act on it from the hostile way. They see that their mothers treat black men, but in contrast, Terrell Owens possibly receiving this positive, what he believed to be positive behavior from these white women. This is what led to him believing that white women were so-called a preference for him because he was treated kindly by those white women in contrast to the way that he was treated by black women. Now, this is where Terrell Owens started to internalize a lot of the self-hatred as related to the narratives presented about black women. He started to internalize a lot of this, and he internalized it because of the trauma he received from those early rejections at the hands of black girls and black women. Now, he internalized this because, again, the responses he received were so hostile, and this is what really scars a lot of adolescent black boys, a lot of adolescent black boys who don't have a mother in their life or a father in their life to talk to them about those early stages of relationships. What these young black boys do is they start buying into the narratives of white supremacy that make you believe that a white woman or a white girl is more appealing or more attractive. And this was something I had to break myself out of as I was dealing with those rejections. And as I grew older, I started to understand that what was happening with a lot of these black girls is, again, a lot of these black girls, they were being inundated with a lot of anti-black white supremacist messages, and those anti-black white supremacist messages had them hating a man who looked like them and had them looking to go out here and participate in self-destructive behaviors like getting involved with drug dealers and gang members. So I could not go out here and take a rejection personally from the black girls who have been inundated with media from the system of white supremacy and had that reinforced by dysfunctional home environments. I understood that when it came to black girls like this, I could not take it personally because that was only one part of the black community, and there was a larger black community of black girls out there who would be interested in having a relationship with a black man and had the values that would value a black man because those girls wanted to get involved with a black man who looked like them. So I understood I couldn't take it personally, and sadly that's what happened here in the case of Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens sadly wound up taking it personally, and as he wound up taking it personally, it took him down a road to self-hatred where he stopped thinking a black woman who looked like him was attractive or desirable, and as he thought that a black woman who looked like him was unattractive, he started to think white women had better behavior and better social traits. And this is where Terrell Owens made his major mistake, and he continues to go following down this road, again following in the footsteps of the ragdoll dance, entranced, completely spellbound. believing that if he gets with white women, they will treat him better, not understanding that when it comes to many white women are female chameleons, and these female chameleons, what they will do is change their color and adapt to a man, and they will adapt to a man to make it look like they are different than black women. But when it comes to women, female nature is all the same. When it comes to most women, female women are all the same, and this is where Terrell Owens gets it twisted. Terrell Owens gets it twisted because he thinks that this white woman is better than a black woman, when in actuality both women are the same, and you're going to have to deal with rejection from both camps, but just that one knows how to go out here and play a role because she knows how to fit into the system of white supremacy. She knows how to fit into that whole system, and she will make it appear like she is more tactful than the black woman, because this gives her access to more opportunities at more partners, because if the white woman appears to be more attractive than the black woman, then the white woman can go out here and have opportunities at more partners. And this is what flies over the head of Terrell Owens as related to his interactions with white women. He really doesn't understand that when it comes to white women who are elevated to the highest position in society, when it comes to white women, they know their position in white supremacist America and the world. And because they know their position, they play their position so that they can receive the most benefits from that position. Unfortunately, when it comes to many young black girls and young black women, they are not really taught about the impact of white supremacy on the black mind. And because they're not taught about the impact of white supremacy on the black mind, they start going out here and participating in self-defeating and self-hating behavior. And as they participate in this behavior, they buy into stereotypes like the sapphire and look to reject and emasculate the black man, who they have been conditioned to demonize by media like that is presented by Madison Avenue in Hollywood, which presents the black man as some sort of violent, sex-crazed brute, or some sort of violent deviant, or some sort of criminal overall. And because they are constantly bombarded with negative images of black men, they don't learn to see a black man as attractive. And this is exacerbated in many of these homes where black girls are raised by single mothers and never have any sort of healthy social interaction with a father to show them a model of black manhood, or show them a model of a black man who is showing positive traits of manhood. And because those girls don't see a black man presenting positive traits of manhood, many of these young black girls don't see black men as attractive, or see a black man as someone who can go out here and love and nurture them. Because in order for a girl to see a black man as attractive, she needs to be in a home where she sees a black father. She needs to see a black father going out here and showing her love, because the father's role is to nurture his daughter. And when he nurtures his daughter, it teaches her that she is loved and is somebody who should be loved. The relationship between a black girl and her father is one that basically shapes her relationship for that she has with another man. And it's one that basically is the one that leads to that girl learning how to love a man who looks like her. That is the relationship that is extremely important. Just like when it comes to the mother, it is the mother who teaches the son how to love a woman who looks like him. And from the way Terrell Owens was talking, it's clear to me that he really didn't have the relationship that I had with my mother that taught me how to love a woman that looked like me and looked like her. When it comes to many black people out here, when they're not raised in a functional environment, sadly, they don't learn to love each other because they've never been taught love by their parents. And that's sadly what's happened here with Terrell Owens. He never really learned love of black women because he possibly had a bad experience with his mother. And that's why he's preferring white girls, because he never had any model of womanhood to show him the love of a black woman. And because he has never experienced the love of black women, he doesn't know that black women are loving and caring, and only goes on the trauma he experienced in places like high school and college. Now, again, I have gone to high school, and I remember in the late 80s getting dissed and dismissed by a lot of black girls who were choosing drug dealers. And I remember going to college and being ignored, even though I was at the top of my class. But I really remember one experience I had with one professor who showed me great respect. And this sister basically, again, showed me great respect in the way that she treated me. And that really was, again, one of the other positive experiences I've had with black women. So when I go out here, I understand that not all black women are the same. And again, understand that yes, there's female nature as related to women being attracted to who they're going to be attracted to. But I can't take it personally and blanket all black women as being so terrible. That's what Terrell Owens was doing, just going out here saying, oh, this experience I had with these black women is bad, not understanding there are black women all over the place who want to share black love with a black man, and those black women oftentimes don't get talked about by many brothers. I mean, I know that there are guys out here like Mad Black 80 and Ringo who talk about their positive experiences with black women, and there are other brothers out here who talk about their experiences, but those brothers don't get their stories played up the way that they are as related to guys like Terrell Owens, and that is done by design because the system of white supremacy wants to see black men and black women against each other, and they want to see us against each other in a gender war because they profit from that gender war. That's what I talk about in many of my fiction books like Spellbound, and I also talk about it in nonfiction books I do, like Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, because I understand white supremacy wants to keep the black man and the black woman away from each other, and then have people arguing over personal preferences like Terrell Owens is doing, not understanding how white supremacy is the puppet master in these situations. And as the puppet master in these situations, what they want to do is go out here and get this spellbound black man to keep trying to fit himself into a black box that's acceptable to white people, and look for validation and approval from a white woman, believing that the white woman is the ideal standard of beauty because she appears to be kinder on the surface, not understanding how this female chameleon is basically playing her role, and her role is to keep a black family from being established and keep a man like Terrell Owens single, chasing white women, and chasing white women who have other options, and see this black man as somebody who she would consider dead last, and oftentimes would be dead before she picks him last. So a lot of these black guys like Terrell Owens, again, they go out here promoting self-hatred unconsciously, not understanding that the system of white supremacy is out here pushing anti-black narratives and does not want to see black love. And this is something that children get conditioned into at an early age, but you have to have good parents that see this and want to keep you away from this type of programming. Again, this programming is insidious, and you have to push back and fight back against it. And that's what I do on the SJS Direct imprint by writing positive black fiction. This is why I write books like the ISIS and Esteem series and books like Spellbound, because I want black girls to know about the whole process of turning you against yourself. And I also write it in nonfiction books like 70% of Black Women Are Single. And in an upcoming book, I go in depth on white supremacy's impact on black love, ISIS Dark Incubus. And in the ISIS Dark Incubus book, I go in depth on how white supremacy can affect the black female mind, and how white supremacy's impact on the black female mind has it where she is afraid of loving a black man because we're taught to see the black man as an enemy, or in the case of Isis, she has experienced so much trauma from seeing her husband being lynched that she fears loving another black man. And again, this whole idea of black love is something white supremacy does not want promoted, and it's something they don't want promoted and pushed in their systems. And sadly, Terrell Owens has drank the grape Kool-Aid that teaches him not to love black women, and that's sadly what we see with him as he talks about his preference of white women, not understanding he's just preferring what white supremacy wants and trying to fit himself into a black box to be acceptable to white supremacy, promoting an anti-black message in the media, a message that needs to be pushed back on because, yes, I myself again have been rejected by black girls. I have been rejected by Puerto Rican girls. I have been rejected by Ecuadorian women, again, Dominican women, and I never took it personally. I just let it roll off me because I understand women are women, and it takes a lot of no to get to yes, and it takes a man to have discipline and character to be able to navigate through his emotions and not take it personally, because if you take it personally, you're going to go out here and wind up doing yourself harm, and you're going to do yourself harm because you're out here internalizing all of this regarding women who could have possibly be the one who could be the helpmeet to you and be the one that could be the one who could possibly be a potential candidate to be your wife. Now, if you want to learn about the whole mindset of being spellbound, you can pick up my book, Spellbound, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. You can also find Spellbound at other online booksellers like Smashware's The iBookstore, Google Play, and Barnes & Noble. And if you want to learn why so many black girls are hostile towards black men, you can pick up my book, Why 70% of Black Women Are Single, on Amazon.com in paperback and Kindle format. And you can find that book and other online booksellers like Smashware's The iBookstore and Google Play. And if you want to see how black girls reject a black man, you can also pick up John Haynes' 1987 on Amazon as well. And in 2024, I'm going to go in depth on white supremacy's impact on the black female mind in ISIS Dark Incubus, and I hope you'll be there for that book. And if you want to help me be able to stay on the air and continue making videos like this, you can send a donation to the Patreon, the PayPal, or the Cash App by clicking the links in the description box. That's all I have to say for this video. You can comment, rate, and subscribe. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Spellbound, A Darker Shade of Black. Get your copy today at your favorite online bookseller. Now available in paperback and e-readers, Isis, the Beauty Myth. Learn the beauty secrets of the goddess next door in this action-packed Isis series adventure. Get Isis, the Beauty Myth at online booksellers everywhere today. Support black-owned and black-operated digital broadcast media. www.niceradionetwork.com. Nice Radio Network, broadcasting 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.